Slurpty derp, my G's. I hope you're all doing wonderful. I've just got a really quick, short mix down tip for you guys today. I hope you will enjoy it. Something that I may have brushed over before in the past, but it's one of my favourite things to do to level up my mix down. And disclaimer though, as with all tutorials, you know, you really have to take everything with a grain of salt. Even the things that I say, you know, they may not always apply every time. So always rely on your own hearing and your own ears, and that should be a given, really. But yeah, one of the main reasons why I love to do my one-on-one lessons is because you just can't get enough clear information from watching one video. And one video, you know, the piece of advice in one video does not always apply, because music production, you know, having good producing and mixing, mastering, composing skills is so big, it's so broad, it's such a massive like thing to learn about and get better at, which is great because I love it, because I'm still improving myself. You know, I don't say that I'm an expert by any means, but it's such a broad subject to get, you know, you can never get good enough. You know, there's always something new to learn. And yeah, just the key thing whenever you're watching tutorials, my videos, anyone else's, just learn from it, but realize that it's always going to be limited. You know, there's that, because it's the context of what you're doing in terms of you know, a whole song or anything like that is going to always be different, you know. So so here's one thing that I love to do, and again, I don't think it would work every time on every track, but it works on this one, and it works in a lot of songs. And here's the little loop that we made yesterday on the little live stream. And so one thing that I love to do is to sidechain all of my tops, so all of the cymbal loops, or this can apply to like breaks and mid-range percussions and things as well. I like to sidechain them to lead sounds or things I have in my track which are not constantly there, but that come in every now and again. And I feel that this creates a more dynamically explosive mixdown at times, and also sometimes it can just clear up a lot of headroom, because when you've got a bunch of top loops kind of always there in the background, always giving this same level of energy, you know, when you can like dip some of that away and like give us a little breather from that sometimes, it's one way to make the track more dynamic, so they're not on the whole time. And what better way, or what better time to dip them away just in that moment where you want to emphasize one of your cooler, more signature sonic enjoyable sounds, like these wonderful leads from my phase plot preset pack Pioneer, which I uploaded recently, and many of you have grabbed that already, so thank you very much. Because yeah, as you guys probably know, I'm a very niche, small YouTube channel, so I don't, you know, really make money from views. It's just from presets and stuff like that usually, so it really helps me, so thank you a lot. But so the leads which are from that pack, you know, obviously I've bounced them out already, but I love the way these sound in the composition. And not only do I want to emphasize them more, but I also want to clear out the mix down. So I'm going to be able to emphasize my favorite part of the track, which is those leads, and at the same time give a breather in the top kind of loops. And through doing that, I'm going to clear up a load more space in the mix down. So how do you do that? Simple, easy sidechain compression. And what you can do to get even more precise with, and even improve the mix, like with more control, is use a multi-band compressor. Now you can use Track Spacer, you can use TDR Nova, although I hate the interface and that, it really annoys me. There's many multi-band tools available, and I'd probably recommend, if you don't have one, getting something like Track Spacer, because it's quite easy. I've had the Waves plugins for many years, so and it just does the job for me. So I use the F6 from Waves, but I would say that you don't have to use this one it's really any multi-band compressor would be great. The thing about using a multi-band instead of a normal compressor is I can leave a little bit of information in the tops still in the mix and not compress that part. And what that's going to do is it's going to just we're going to just target only the real conflicting frequencies, so we're not taking up the whole volume, and this will just make it a little bit more precise. But you can just do a normal compressor and just drop the whole tops group as well. It's going to be just almost just as good. So what I like to do here is I've just set my sidechain input to the leads, and then I've got a low shelf sidechain going on. So obviously if you take a look at the tops, what you'll see is they really only have most of their content around 2000 up to the the highest point. There's a little bit of content sort of around 600 and 800 and around there. So I'm definitely going to be taking all of that down. I'm definitely going to take some of this treble around here down, but I'm actually going to leave in a bit of the high end, because the further up the frequency spectrum we go, the more grace there is for mix down to just everything has space, So I don't need to take down all of the high end. Just by taking down the sort of treble and some of the sort of low treble as well, that's going to solve that kind of conflict perfectly fine. So that's why I'm doing just a low shelf. So everything below 2000 is really getting ducked, and then some of that high end all the way up to sort of 8K is coming down a bit, and then as you get 8K and over it, I'm sort of leaving that part in. And again, going back to what I said on the earlier video, this just what works in this track, so take it with a grain of salt. But I just set the external here so that the sidechain is active from the leads. You turn my range and my threshold down and choose my balance point with the frequency amount, and then with threshold just getting my sweet spot. And if I just bypass it, back on, what you'll notice if you're paying attention is the tops were once sort of masking the lead a little bit, and now the tops are going to push further back into the mix every time the leads pop out, and the leads are going to come closer to you. By comparison, the leads are going to pop out and be closer to us, so it's going to be way more dynamic. You're going to hear the leads better, and actually you're going to get this impression that they're really popping out of the speaker, because as you hear the leads, things are being pushed behind them, so you get this dynamic effect of the leads coming to life more in the mix down. So in the whole composition then, if I were to turn that back off again, you don't really enjoy the leads anywhere near as much. And in this case, it's been a technique which has improved the mix down in a subtle way, but in a massively positive way. And you can use the same technique and go more extreme on other sounds and other layers. And the idea is just that you make the conscious decision of which sounds you want to place more in the spotlight and which ones you want to push behind. And so it could possibly be that for some reason you've got a lead and you actually want to bring the break in front of it. It really is up to you. But I think it makes sense, and to me it sounds cool when I've got a great sound that I like the lead stabs here, that I want to give them more of the spotlight. And in that case, I don't mind sort of doing a little bit of compressing on my sidechain compressing to bring my tops out of the way just for a brief moment in time, so I can enjoy that lead a little bit more. Thank you very much for watching my video today, my G's. I hope you're having a great week so far. Very productive. This Friday we've got a new release on my label, Artificial Music. You can follow us on SoundCloud if you want, or Instagram as well. And the track will be up on the channel on this Friday as well. Have a great rest of your week. Peace out. Don't do anything I wouldn't. Ciao for now. Ciao Bella. Arrivederci. Much love.